show with two glaring problems that angered me beyond no reason. It angered me beyond freaking no reason. But if you take away the two things that made me really angry, this was a good show with a good ending. And as you saw from the title and this thumbnail, it was a good ending. You wonder how far they're going to go with Hell in a Cell. And now you know they're going to try and make it really interesting. But as it stands, the show was good with two terrible situations. Let's do the Dolph Ziggler thing. Now, you would think I'm going to talk about that. I'm not. I'm very curious to see how far they are willing to go with Dolph. Because, look, he just did Bayley, and then I got angry going, well, what the fuck? He's doing Ultimate Warrior? No, you don't mess with the Ultimate Warrior memory and his intro. But that's the purpose of it. For a diehard fan, it could piss you off. And I may not be a total diehard fan, but it pissed me off. At least for a few seconds, and then I got over that, and I'm going like, okay. He's now doing whatever he can to piss people off to see that he deserves better than all those other people with their stupid gimmicks. But here's the thing. These rants, these rages only can go so far. There has to be a consequence. There must be a consequence to this. Now, it's either going to be one of two things. One of two. One, he has to face somebody substantial. That's going to reinvigorate his character. I don't know who that can be. So that's a long shot. Even a longer shot, which would make the best sense. He quits and goes away for a couple of months, and then they bring him back. Because that would make the best sense. Look, Dolph for the last 3 to 4 years has been stagnant. Yeah, in 2016 he had a pretty good run when it came to his character, when it came to the WWE Championship, but they never pulled the trigger and let him win the freaking title. It stayed on Dean Ambrose. It did. So what was the point of him going through all that and then go for the Miz and then still end up in the same position? So I see only one option. That is for him to reach a point where he goes into a match, he gets so freaking frustrated, not because he's losing it, but because he feels like no one cares. He wins the match, but he says, you know what? I just did my last performance. I freaking quit! And he leaves. That would be the best payout for him. That's just me. But I doubt they're going to go there, but I think that would be the best payout. Make him supposedly quit for a couple of months, go away for 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. Then come back and let him try something different. Because as it stands, Nick Theodore has made his bed. He's done his run. There's nothing left for him to do because they won't do anything with him. And they won't let him really be at the main title scene to see if he's going to sink or swim. I've always stated this. You want to see if he's really going to be good, let him be in the main title scene for 4 or 5 months. And if he sinks, never do it again. If he swims, then leave him there. But never got that. Anyway, Rusev had a segment. He said, I went home to Bulgaria to recharge because of what happened with Randy Orton. But people hated me for what happened. They didn't want to look at me. You know what? I know I got to do something. I'm not nothing. I'm going to take out a legend. Who? Who is a legend that's going to make sense? He's going to go back to Randy Orton again? He can't. He can't go after John Cena because he's doing Roman Reigns. Going to go after Art Anderson? He's going to go after Finlay? Who? With my luck, with our luck, it's going to be someone stupid. That's the truth. He's going to go after someone silly. And it's not going to make any sense before he leaves. Supposedly, you understand he is going to be leaving. So someone else is going to get a rub from him leaving. I don't know. Unless it's Rey Mysterio. Maybe he's made a contract with WWE to come back. I don't know. Anyway, the next thing is Ty Dillinger versus AJ Styles. What was that? What was that? What? It was not the match that was the issue. Was it? Ty did a great showing. AJ was alright with him. There might have been a couple of botches. That's true. There was a few botches that came from AJ. No, one botch that came from AJ and one botch came from Ty Dillinger. But it wasn't a bad match until... I still care about Baron Corbin. But look what happened. He comes in at the very last minute. He gets his head knocked off by AJ. Ty Dillinger did not get the win, but then Ty taps out to the calf crusher. But then, after the match was done, what happened to Baron Corbin? He beats up on both of them. I just feel like, wouldn't it have been better to wait until the end? Or better yet, not to have the match at all. It would have been better for Ty Dillinger not even to make it to the match, that he got his ass handed to him in the back. And then... think about it. Ty Dillinger gets his ass handed to him in the back by Baron Corbin. You got Daniel Bryan coming out and said, that's it. I had enough of this. At Hell in a Cell, Ty Dillinger, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles for the U.S. title. Now, of course, they're going to go there. It's obvious they're doing it. But it might have been a little more better. Because then there wouldn't have been an actual match to allow us to see Ty Dillinger again with AJ Styles, where we've already seen them and we don't want them to be exposed too much out there. But they did that, so that makes it not as important. But it was an okay match, and we are going to get a Hell in a Cell match. It's going to happen. Deal with it. Now, the one match that pissed me off the most. The second match is after that. I'm going to talk about that next. But this match got me so angry. It made me angry. It made me angry. It made me angry. It's in my face. It made me angry and it's in my freaking face. A Sin City Street fight between the Usos and New Day. Why wasn't Xavier Woods involved? Why? If there's no countout, no disqualification, why couldn't he involve himself with it? Why was it just Kofi Kingston and Big E? Not saying it wasn't a good match. It was a good match. And I'm so tired. I'm going to say this honestly. Anyone who loves the kendo stick, every time it's shown, it's garbage now. Because you show it so much. In the entire year, how many times have they shown kendo sticks? 10, 20 times? The kendo stick used to be something special. That they will only pull it up maybe once or twice a year for any match in the WWE. Or WWF. Even ECW rarely used it, or WCW rarely used it. I mean, they did use it a little more than ECW, but it was a rarity. Now it is so commonplace. What is the point of using it? It's no better than a chair. And they use that just as much. Ugh. But this angered me. Why couldn't they have just had a fight? No match. Before the match even started, they have a freaking fight. Daniel Bryan comes out and says, that's it. I had enough of you two. You guys do not, you five. I'm sick and tired of this situation. I'm going to set up something special. Usos versus all members of New Day in Hell in a Cell match. New Day versus the Usos. I think this would be the first or second time a tag team match has been held in Hell in a Cell. I can't be sure. The first or the second time. You guys can tell me below if that's ever happened. But as far as I know, there has been no times. This could be the first time Hell in a Cell would have a tag match in it. And I think that would have been a better situation than pretty much New Day winning back the titles now. What is the point? I know they got a month away before Hell in a Cell. But it doesn't mean you can't build up into it and have these guys talk. They're great talkers. The Usos are the second best talkers in Smackdown. And the New Day's the first. So why could you not just let them talk for the rest of the month? It would have been more special. You could have done segments in the back and just let them do whatever the hell they wanted. Something funny, something destructive. Ugh. It just angered me. Here's the second match of the night I did not like. I hated. I could easily say it was the worst for me, but I have to be an objective reviewer. Naomi versus Natalya for the women's title with the Carmella at ringside, and now let me get this straight. You see the picture of my face. I'm not taking away while I'm talking. You got Carmella with James Ellsworth. She kisses him last week, saying that things are going to go my way. And now she has him with a freaking collar around his neck. Now I take it away. What the fuck is that? What is that? That makes no freaking sense. That makes no sense. She's never acted like she's into S&M. She never dressed like a woman who's a dominatrix. She never acted like a woman who's a dominatrix. But now she decides to do the dominatrix gimmick. With no sexy dress, no showing her boobies, no showing her ass, no showing a whip, and no showing high heels. And one of the reasons I know that happened is, well, let's just say my ex-wife was trying to get into that. I was never into that. It scared me, particularly when it came to candle wax. That's it. I'm stopping. Stop. I'm hurting myself here. I'm digging my own grave. I'm sorry. Look, I have no idea what just happened. My camera just turned itself off. I must have been too close with my hand. Anyway, I'm just saying when it came to Carmella, it made no sense with her. Now, let's go to the Hype Bros versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Wasn't a very long match. And the Golden Boy with the Gold Medal Boy won the match. But then you got Zack Ryder walking away. Zack gets pissed off and walks away. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of that. But now you're wondering, are they finally going to break up the Hype Bros and have a feud between Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley? Now, would that be an interesting match? An interesting feud? I can't really say yes or no, because we really don't see much of them anyway. Since they don't show much about both of them, it's hard to say if it will work or not. It could, or it might not. I just don't know. We're just going to have to wait until we see. The ending of the show with Vince and Kevin Owens. Look, Vince is still over. Vince can still get it done. I think I may use that title because it sounds the best to use. He is so over. He hadn't been in Smackdown in 4 years, and he got the largest pop you've heard in a while. He has, like I said before, Vince is the only one with true star power left in the company. Nobody left. John Cena is the most strongest star power they have. Like I said in my previous video of Raw, the only reason John Cena is as popular as he is for the WWE is because Vince didn't want to put anyone else on the shine because he knew there was a good possibility to leave. And he knew John Cena was going to leave. That's why he threw everything on it. That's why he pushed John Cena so hard. Because he knew he wasn't going to leave. But everybody he knew had the greatest star power left, either because of injury or because they wanted to pursue a movie or some other type of career. That's the way it went with Vince. So Vince is the only one left in the company who has true star power. Triple H doesn't have it as much. Neither does Stephanie. It's him. He's the only one left. And when he ever makes an appearance, it is so special. And that's really sad to see, but it's great at the same time. Now, how was the talk? It was good. Vince made it very clear. He said this, you know what? Sue me. Sue me because you should know now, I have never lost any of the times I've gone to court. Now, let's do a little real life fact checking here. I don't normally say fact checking, but in this case I got to. Vince, didn't you lose to the World Wildlife Federation back in the 90s because they said you don't have the right to use the WWF? That the World Wildlife Federation was around a little bit longer than the WWF? And that when you shorten it from 3 W's to 2, you were infringing on their copyright? And you lost, my friend? You lost your name. That's why they said, get the F out of the WWE. I think it would have been good for him to say that. I think it would have been better he said, you know what? Sue me. I've only lost once. And that was to the World Wildlife Federation. That would have been more true to life. I would have loved to hear that because that would have been so organic. And he said, well, I did what I could for that. if I'm going to be honest here, ladies and gentlemen, I did lose to them, but since then I've lost to nobody. So sue me, and you will have a B next to your name. As I got a B of billions, you have a B of bankrupt, my son. And you'll have some gray hairs too, because I'll make sure it's very hard for you to get any work anywhere. And just to let people know in real life, Vince, even though maybe a 72-year-old nut, still has enough clout that he could screw anyone over in the wrestling community. I'm just saying. Anyway, was this segment great? Yes, it was. You know why? It wasn't the fact that now there's going to be a Hell in a Cell match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, who's now been reinstated, who is also stated to not be aggressive enough. That Vince was angry at him and suspended him because he didn't kick his ass more worse than what he was doing. Well, why is there a rule that no one's supposed to touch the talent if you're willing to let him kick someone's ass? If that's true, it should have been stated with Daniel Bryan and The Miz last year that he said to him, you can't do it. I can do it, but you can't do it. That would have actually made it a lot more easier and more better storyline-wise. But it's okay. That's just me. But this is the thing I say, Vince can get it done. Still get it done. Because he took a headbutt from Kevin Owens. He took a kick in the ribs from Kevin Owens. He took a kick to the face by Kevin Owens. And he took a splash from Kevin Owens. And remember who we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a 20 or 30 or 40, even 50-year-old man. We're dealing with a 72-year-old man. 72 years old. Understand something, ladies and gentlemen. I used to work in a nursing home. Actually, I take that back. I worked in 2 different nursing homes in Manhattan. And I have been around hundreds of senior citizens and people who have reached 100 years or more doing their laundry and bringing them food. And I can tell you, someone who's in that age bracket, as much as they may exercise, doesn't mean they can take a hit like that. Doesn't mean they can take getting their ass kicked like that. Doesn't mean that a doctor would tell them, you know, you're in great shape, but I would not recommend you doing something that strenuous, like going in the ring and getting splashed by a guy that's at least twice as young as you. But Vince did. I may say a lot, and I know a lot of people are going to say a lot about Vince and Kennedy McMahon. I'm not going to lie about it. Vince is a dick. There's no way Vince isn't a dick in some ways. He may be a most incredible, nice person you can meet in real life. I'm being honest here. Vince could be a great guy in real life. And he could be a dick when it comes to the company. But you cannot say that man is not dedicated to his craft. Even at 72 years freaking old, he went out there and took not one bump, a headbutt, not 2 bumps, kick in the ribs, not 3 bumps, a kick to the face. He took a freaking splash from someone from the top ring turnbuckle. That's 4 big hits he took, no matter how gentle you can be. It's got to look good for the crowd. And that he's in my face right now. I give you props, Vince. So am I interested in seeing Hell in a Cell? Fuck yes, I am. I'm more interested now because Vince came to Smackdown and gave it an injection in its arm, what it needed. Its writing has been sucky because of Road Dogg. Even if he's improved himself, or maybe someone else is writing for him in secret, at least we got something new on Smackdown that we can talk about, that I'm very happy to see. But it's just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace. And just to say this, Morgan Hyde had suggested that I consider doing Lucha Underground. I'm going to see if I can. I have to find out what time it comes on and see if I actually have the time to do it and what days I can do it. I am really considering trying it. I don't know if I'll keep doing SmackDown. Well, I'm going to keep doing SmackDown, but I don't know if I'm going to keep doing Raw. I may take a time off from Raw. But you guys tell me how you feel about that. Peace.